Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing good. It's your girl Sika in the house this happy Monday morning. Um, for once in a very long time, today is a holiday here. We're still enjoying the Canada Day weekend, and I had a bit of time, and I managed to get hold of Kwame No Face one more time to come and have a conversation about something that he picked up from TikTok a couple of days ago. And it seems to be a growing trend these days, especially in our African community. A lot of people are doing unfortunate, hurtful, and sad things to each other in marriages. In the last 2, 3 months, or maybe even shorter than that, we've had so many people that have lost their lives in this whole thing about one person loving the other person feeling that one person has taken advantage of them, and it hasn't had happy outcomes. It's ended up with one person or both people losing their lives so tragically. And this Dallas incident is actually the latest of a long train of these sorts of things that is happening. So the question is this morning, what at all is happening? When we listen to this Dallas story, um, it's about a man who is married to a woman who becomes a nurse and is working. And this man, from the narration, I'll probably play what we are basing this whole conversation on at some point. Um, was expecting that his wife would bring her monthly or whatever salary to the table, like kind of hand the money that she makes to him for him to decide how it is disbursed. It seems as if the wife got fed up with that whole arrangement and there was a backlash. And the man felt he had been cheated out of things because he was the one who made her who she is. And so he deserves to demand whatever he wanted from her. These sorts of stories where one party thinks that the other party owes them something seems to be what drives this whole thing to happen. I'm absolutely against anybody else taking or feeling that they had the right to take somebody's life away. But the bigger question is, why are these sorts of things happening? And what can we do as a couple, as people, to learn the valuable lessons? I'm not going to talk too much here. Kwame No Face, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You're very welcome to Sika Educates, and thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you for having me too.
You're welcome. So why? What is it that is happening to couples these days that these sorts of things seem to be very rampant and rife these days?
Somebody, first of all, like I was telling you and having this discussion with you earlier on, number one is love. If everything is based on love, I don't think all these problems we will be facing today or what couples are facing around the world, we will be going through this, right? If you love somebody and you and somebody and they love them, what do? You look out for the person, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So in this Dallas man in case, I mean, I they see say the man know they love the woman. Now he go bring the woman, come say he won't use some. That's it.
Mm.
And one thing to be say, how long can somebody be used? Because nobody is stupid. It's just a matter of time where people will realize that what I am in or what is going in my life is not going to move me to the next level. Understand? So love, once everything is based on love, because love goes a long way. When you love somebody, you don't want to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to take their paycheck. Right? You don't want to even come in between their career. You love somebody. So you know that tomorrow, if the person's career is good, the person is going to help you when they get to that level. Right? But then the whole problem comes in when one party or one spouse thinks that they are better off than the other, right? Anyway, the problem all the start, because there's instances where people too, they go bring people from Ghana or Nigeria or Togo or Cote d'Ivoire, wherever come. Now, when it's good for the people, then they walk away. It be painful thing, because me and you, they stay here and we know how difficult it is. Not only work, you are dealing with all kinds of weather, especially when you live in Alberta, this part of the world we live in. It's not only work, the weather be very cold. You know, everything. So people go through all these hard times to be able to go and bring you from wherever you are. Don't mistreat them. Don't mistreat them. Don't come with an idea that, oh, you know, you are better off than somebody, right? No. And then sometimes too, like I they blame our parents. Hey, as you they go, make you remember the place you from. That thing destroys a lot of marriages. Make you remember the place you from, say waiting. Right? So whoever comes here is born in two worlds. Should I help my family or should I help the man I'm living with? That's where all the problems. So why would I bring, let's say I met you, Akushika, I loved you, I brought you from Ghana to Canada. Now you are working, all the money you get gets sent to your family. Me here, pretty much I don't matter too much to you. It's painful. You understand my point? So we have to make it a point where if you they love somebody, because so the person where they America or they Australia or they Canada or in New Zealand, they work hard. Sometimes t-shirts the person, you know, they buy. They save money so it go fit bring you come. Why? Excuse me to say, wherever we they live, men know they there, women know they there. Good. You take Canada, man know they here. Plenty men know they here. Why you for cross ocean go bring man from Ghana or Nigeria come here? The moment somebody is bringing you from Ghana or Nigeria, can mean say they love you. It's why they are taking that extra step for you. They are equally handsome men here who are in better positions here than going to bring somebody from Ghana or Nigeria or anywhere here. You get my point? Exactly. So please, this is what I'll tell all viewers out there. If somebody they sacrifice won't bring you far, please, if you have any bad mind for the person, I better advise you that stop thinking like that. Because whoever you are coming to, it's not even buying a shoe, because they are saving all their money to be bring you for, so that they can break that chain for you also to come work and have money.
Thank you very much. But I'm going to come from another angle here. And I think there's something wrong with your connection. I don't know whether you want to come out and come back in again, because you were breaking up a little bit.
All right, I'll do that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better. So,
okay,
so the other thing, the other angle that I want to take is this, is that you were talking about people basing their whole relationship on love and all of that, which makes sense. It's true. But when you were talking about people bringing other people across the ocean because they love them, I've seen a few things that sometimes make me wonder whether the basis of bringing somebody that you purport to love across the ocean was really about love. I'll tell you two stories, because sometimes, whether it's the man or the woman, a lot of the times I find that people have made this assumption that there are certain professions in the diaspora that pay an awful lot of money. And so they are not interested in doing those careers themselves because they think that it's a woman's profession. Nursing is the top one of that thing. And I noticed that a lot of, when I used to live in England, a lot of people used to say that they thought that there was some demonic thing to do with the whole nursing profession, because a lot of couples that had, whether it was the wife or the husband as a medic, especially a nurse, all ended up having issues. There seems to be this thing, concept or ideology that nursing pays an awful lot of money. And so because of that, if you marry a nurse or you go bring your wife and you invest money in her to become a nurse, somehow it means that your life is made and your fortunes are coming. The thing is that, why is it that the man who goes to bring the wife to come and put her through school to become the nurse doesn't become the nurse himself? I have
Thank you.
seen a lot of cases where a lot of men come abroad, and I'm using men, you are a man, you can also defend your kind, but why is it that some of the men come abroad themselves? You've arrived in a country with opportunity, with milk and honey, so to speak, and instead of making a life for yourself, like fixing your own life, you think that it's okay to go and bring somebody else's son and daughter, bring them here, put them through school. And then when you've done that, you think that because of what you've done, you own them. And so all the hard work that they've put in to make themselves whatever, they owe it to you. Why? I mean, no face.
First of all, first and foremost, I disagree with the idea of going to bring somebody here to go to school so that you or whoever can milk the person. I disagree. Just like you said, why didn't you do the nursing yourself? That's one. Now, two, is nursing the only job in the diaspora where you can make money? Right? So the question is, yeah, I know sometimes in diaspora, women have a little bit more opportunities than we men do. Yes. But that doesn't stop you, a man, from chasing what you want. Right? There's a lot of opportunities here, like you said, opportunities in code, and chasing those opportunities sometimes is not easy. You know, we make it look like, oh, it's so easy. I'm bringing my wife here to become a nurse. Yeah, but she's going to have to do clinicals and have to go to school for 3-4 years to be able to pass out and become a registered nurse before you can reap the benefits. Right? So to me, it's a wrong idea, because one thing I've realized is that a man or a woman who has fixed his or her life, doesn't really matter how much money the spouse or the husband makes. I'm telling you, if you are making 150 grand a year, do you care if I'm making 80 or 90,000 a year? No, you don't. If you don't fix your life and you are making 35 to 40,000 a year, that is when, if I'm making 90 grand, your eyes will start coming on me. Exactly. So if the men can also fix their lives, you are bringing your wife here or your spouse here not to come here and be a ticket for you out. That's wrong. So what happened to regular traditional marriage where we live together and take our vows for better, for worse? What happened to all that?
You know, I don't understand. Look, and I'll tell you two other stories. When I used to live in London, I had a friend whose girlfriend was married to the man. They were married back in Ghana before they moved, or he moved abroad first. He went to England first and was there for many years, and eventually decided to go bring his wife and his children. Finally, he got them into the country and got his wife a job. She wasn't an educated woman. So, so to speak, doing menial jobs was what she could do to survive. So this woman was a cleaner. She was cleaning, primary schools and all kinds of places to make a bit of money to support the husband.
Yeah.
But when she arrived, the man made her understand that it cost him money to bring her, and she had to work to pay him back for everything that he spent. And so this woman was waking up at 5:30 in the morning, go to a school, clean up here, clean up there. She'd come back home around about 2 in the afternoon. And when she came back, she then had to clean the house, make sure the kids are fed when they come back from school, and cook whatever the husband wanted to eat. Now, this man would finish work, go gallivanting around, go to his girlfriend and whatever, stay till crazy o'clock and come home, sometimes as late as midnight. And the wife had to stay up and wait for her husband to get home. When he comes home, he's put his foot on coffee table. The woman has to undress him, literally take his shoes off, take his socks off, put his bag in the room, and then come and kneel down in front of him and ask him what he wants to eat at 12 midnight. This woman is going to leave home by 6 o'clock to go to work, right? And then feed the husband. Okay, let's say he says he wants fufu and palm nut soup. She has to go dish the food out in the thing, come and lay the table, put water by the side, and then come and beg him to come and eat. This whole time she's sleepy. She has to sit there and wait for him to be done, pack up everything, go wash the plates and everything. And sometimes he even wants to sleep with her at 2 o'clock in the morning. And how much sleep is this woman going to get to wake up at 5:30 and be off to work again? And then make sure that her salary goes into his account. So at the end of the month, the man gives her £100. Go and use some to buy your bus pass. If you need to do your hair, she has to come and ask him. Sometimes when he's in a good mood, he may give her some. If he's not, then no money for her. And she's walking around looking like a caricature. Meanwhile, she's working all the hours God sent to be able to have a wage. Is this what marriage is about?
No, it's not. It's not. The man know the love in wife. Plain and simple. This one, you don't need to be an astronaut to figure this one out. You they go work, go day inside, come midnight, they go gallivant. The woman they wait for you. You can't go come on your shoe. They go put food for table. They go do everything for you. Then the woman 5 a.m. he wake up, they go work again. I beg, this man, they love this woman. Good. When you love somebody, that is why initially I talk about love. When you love somebody, you know go treat them like this. That is why initially we start your program. I tell you, say, to me, where I don't reach for life, everything is based on love. If I love you, where I know say you go work, my wife go work since 5 a.m. in the morning. It can't reach about 5 o'clock in the evening or 6. That's a 12-hour shift with a 1-hour train ride home. Any normal man or normal woman knows say my wife, he don't tire. Any normal man where they love you or normal woman go tell you say my wife, they love you. Tell you, I know say you don't tire. So don't cook me any akeche. Don't cook me anything. I go buy Subway just down the street, or I go buy chicken and chips today because I know say my wife, he don't tire. So go sleep. Look, your wife, because of what you have done, your wife can feel wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and you go cook that food where you won't put them down for you before he go leave house 5 a.m. Because she knows say, my husband, I go work, can this man feel for me, make her go sleep early. So you know what? Me too, I'll wake up. Exactly. But when love no day, my sister, love no day, sorry. Why is a mother, I'll give you this example. Why say we men, most of we they run from our children? Why mothers know they run from them, our children?
Mm.
What is that? Love.
Mm.
A mother's love for in son or in daughter go make no go leave.
Mm.
Correct. So love be the big basis where everything for stand on.
Mm.
Because if the man they love in wife, when in wife go come, when he look the way in wife enter house, if the wife in back self, the feel put her down. Good man don't say my wife, he don't tire.
Mm.
Take your wife in back. Oh honey, sit down. Honey, I know say you don't tire. Waiting. If you don't tire, why you no go lie the bed top for room? Go stretch your back small. Nah, that be love. No be when your wife go come, they feel carry in back, say you say make they put soup for fire top for you. Come on.
Mm. Now, let's flip the coin the other way. There are also some of my sisters who would do anything to convince men that they're coming abroad because they love them and they want to live with them in unison and make a home with them. You see, for me, how I've understood relationships and committed ones for that matter, it's a partnership between two people. When you're running a company and one person is the CEO, we still need a secretary, we still need an administrator, we still need a CFO, we need all kinds of people. Everybody has to dip their hands in the pot in order
Thank you.
for the soup to be sweet, right? But this situation flips both sides. It's both men and women that are doing these kinds of things that are resulting in these kinds of things that we are seeing. Nobody owns anybody, granted. But a relationship, a committed one for that matter, is one where two people have sat down and had the conversation. The two heads are always better than one. And we are going to support and help each other for the common good of our relationship. But sadly, what sometimes happens, and it's not just women, it's men too. Both parties do it. I'll tell you a story about the man, I'll tell you a story about a woman. You're married to this man from back home. He's come abroad for so many years. He's worked hard. He's saved money, whatever. You know how hard it is to even go and bring your spouse from wherever to the Western country in which you're living. The woman has arrived. And as you were saying before, when she left her home country, maybe the poverty in her home, no be small. And so she's been told on her way, AC, better remember where you've come from. Oh. You better remember the sacrifices and the pain that is in this house. So when you go, make sure that you don't forget us. Okay, so she arrives. She doesn't really understand how things are working, so she's playing the game. And then ultimately, when she finds her feet, she now wants to bite the hand that fed her. I'm not talking about those who are lying to women or bringing them to come and use them as slaves. I'm talking about people who were married, because I've
Mhm.
seen that too. It swings both ways. I have relatives that these things have happened to. Women have arrived. Didn't you tell me a story about somebody you actually knew in your family? I'm going to bring this up here. The boy was dating this woman from back home. You told me this story a long time ago. I just remembered. And then he arrived and worked for a few years and remembered, oh, this long time serious girlfriend that I had that I've still been in touch with and talking to, let me go and bring her from wherever, Ghana, and bring her abroad. They talked, they did everything. He went back home, married this woman, everything. And then on the day of arrival, this man turns up at the airport with his friends, so excited that he's going to meet his wife. 3 hours later, the wife doesn't come out of the arrivals hall. They go to check the plane and check the list of people that were on the plane. Her name isn't there, even though she had given the time and that flight to the man. Only for 3 whole days to pass. And then this woman had arrived on a previous flight. to then be telling the man, oh, I'm living with my new boyfriend now, and my boyfriend asked me to call you to say that we are really sorry that things didn't quite work out between us. And I want to know how much you spent in bringing me here. My boyfriend says that he's prepared to pay. How many times haven't we heard this kind of story? You told me one about somebody that you knew, right? What do you have to say about those situations?
You know, it is sad. It is a very sad situation. Very, very sad. This one, a sad situation. One. Now, two. This be what I want to tell all viewers. We don't dare your pay top. Especially women. And not be any man in obligation to bail you out of your life. It is your father's responsibility to bail you, the woman or the man. We have to get this thing clear in our head, so that when you find somebody where he say he like you, where they can't help you, no say it be very big thing where they can't happen for your life, because your papa then your mama will born you. Now you be my responsibility. You no be nobody in responsibility for life. Your mama, then your papa. Now them for make sure say your life is okay. You have been able to go to school and graduate and finish university. It's not another man in business make he can't pay your school fees for university. You understand? Exactly. So women choose. I hear women say, oh, you don't have a car. But your father that gave birth to you had never bought a car in this life. But you are not accusing your father of not buying a car. But you are accusing your boyfriend of not having a car. Is it your boyfriend's responsibility to put you in a car? Are you getting my point? I have a daughter who is I don't expect a man tomorrow to come and raise my daughter for me. My job is to put my daughter in a certain level so that when she goes to meet another man, she's not a burden to the man. Exactly. It's not any man's responsibilities that you, a woman, the man has to pay school fees for you. The man has to buy you a car, or the man has to bring you to a diaspora. No. It is because of love is why men go extra miles to do things for people, or women go an extra mile to do things for men. But I'm telling you, I'm sorry, but it is your father and your mother's responsibility to make sure you are okay. Because, excuse me to say, it was two of them who lied down. It wasn't your boyfriend. Exactly. But African women will leave their fathers out and be putting pressure on their boyfriends or their husbands. Where's your father? Where's your mother? And then the same people, when another man is coming to help him, he can't say they can't help, won't break poverty for house. Now the woman, they tell the woman, say, remember, as you, they go. Wait till you take your life do. So please, especially men and women, when, like I hear Christians say it, when you find your destiny helper, please, please, learn not to be too smart on your destiny helper. Because your father and your mother will not do it for you. Your father and your mother, I'm sorry, they are the most important part of your life growing up. What you eat, how you get educated, how you get raised, the schools you go. If you go to university, your dad pays for you, you finish, you get a degree, you get a master's, then now you land a good job. Yes, that's your father's job, not your boyfriend. Yes, there's a deadbeat fathers who, there are girls who grew up, or men who grew up without fathers because they are deadbeat father. Good. So when you find a man where tomorrow it don't come your life inside, don't think say the man is fool. Because I hear both men and women say, "Oh, this woman loves me too much. She's a fool." Nobody is a fool for loving you.
Mm.
Nobody don't fool for loving you, or nobody don't fool to work extra hours where you won't bring you from where you did something where your papa or your mama for do for you, they no do. Somebody won't do for you. You want to be smart on the person.
Mm.
You see, like the saying goes, what goes around, you take do that man. The other man you they go into, you go take do you. You take do that woman. The other woman where you they go with her into, you go take do you. It be round robbery. Now round robbery. So to me, a lot of women or men on this on your platform or on this page should understand that your father and your mother are your they are responsible for your life. It's not another man or girl is responsible for your life. I've seen women put so much pressure on their men that those kind of pressure they don't even put on their fathers.
So if I'm
Life is hard.
If I'm hearing you correctly, what you're trying to say is that when fathers and mothers give birth to their children, it is their responsibility to look after their children and not pawn them off to men to go and fix them so that they can also come back home and fix their lives. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
How can you pawn your daughter to a man? What? So I am a man. I'm going to pawn my daughter to a man. It means I didn't do my work as a man. I didn't do my work as a dad. Did your father pawn you off to a man? No. Your father was there for you when you were through St. Rose's, when you went to Tech to study engineering, and you went to do your master's at Jack Napier. Your father was there. Your father was not expecting another man to pay for that for you. Today, where you are a self-made woman. So any man that comes in your life, you are an asset to the man. Exactly. Today, you, Akushika, you are an asset to any man that comes in your life. Because you are set. You were born in England. Now you live in Canada. You've gone to school. You're a hardworking woman. So when a woman like you is loving a man, you are loving a man not because of what he's coming to do for you. You are loving a man because the two of you won't make life. When you go, but then when you go carry the one way, you know, the ones we know if you do anything for you, now it became they give you the most problem. Because they tell them, John, they seek for Africa, Joseph, they seek for here. So when you can't work, you get money. The money they go. The person will bring you, can you forget about him? Your father and your mother, now them be your responsibility in this world. Your husband or is just a guy where you would spend the rest of your life with. Your husband no be meal ticket. Or your wife, it no be meal ticket. And now your father, then your mother for put you for school, for make sure say you be okay. You reach a certain level. Like the last time I they talked for your program top, it no be all of we be educationally inclined. So if it be refrigeration, your father put you for refrigeration school, you finish, it set up a refrigeration place for you. So you are standing on your own. You know, be now you they go make bedding for some woman in house, make in father can't set up refrigeration for you. No. So if let's say I find woman like you, where you be helpful to me, it's a plus to me. It's a big plus and a big bonus to me. But I know they expect say you, Akushika, can't bail me from all my problems because to begin with, no be you set all those problems down.
I don't know whether some of our viewers are not really quite catching what you're saying. So I think you need to break this down a little bit more because I'm seeing our sister Sharon, I'm seeing Claire, and I'm seeing a few people actually that are up in arms and quite upset with some of the things that you've said. I'm not quite sure that they've really understood what you're trying to say. At the end of the day, when a parent has a child, is it the parent's responsibility to raise their child and provide them with the tools to be able to stand on their own 2 feet? My sister
One,
Sharon, you can call it rubbish all you want, but at the end of the day, everybody has an opinion and is entitled to expressing that opinion. I don't think that if you had a son that you spent so much money on, Sharon, you raised him, you struggled to raise this son, you put him through school and everything. I don't think that you would want your son to pick up a woman who is sitting at home doing nothing with the 10
there,
fingers in between her legs and expecting your son that you toiled for to become the person that saves her life. I don't think so. Go ahead, my darling.
it depends on who. It depends on what kind of woman Sharon is. That's why she's saying rubbish. I'm sure she's also towing the line of waiting for people to help her. That's why. But like I said, it is the responsibility. I'm a father. I'm not going to pawn my daughter to any man. I'm going to make sure that my daughter is done with her education, has a job. Then now you meet me and you say, oh, Dad, I've met this guy. I think he's a good guy. I want to marry him. Good. Now, as my daughter is going into that man's house, she's not going to be a responsibility there because she already has a career. She's been trained that when you go to a man's house, make sure you and him help to pay the bills. Make sure the two of you work together to achieve your dreams. I'm not telling my daughter to go and be a burden on a man. No. I'm not. I'm sorry. And nowadays, with modern day world, a lot of women, as the years and the days will go by, will realize that now families, men and women, everybody is becoming smart now. Gone are the days when we used to. Nowadays, the first question a man meets you is he will ask you, what do you do? Those days are gone. Now, if the people on your platform think I'm lying, they should come and ask me. Nowadays, the first question a man meets a woman is, what do you do? Unlike before where, oh, can I know you? Can I? No. Now, the first question they ask is, what do you do for a living? Times have changed. Times have changed. So it's up to us, parents, to build our children so that one day they can become valuable people in the society. Same thing like a man. If you are a parent and you have a son, you must build your son even way better than your daughter. Because men don't get that free thing or how many times do women get, oh, you look nice, you look cute, you look, no. But women get that all the time, right? Oh, you look beautiful, you look cute, you look that. So when you are a father and a mother, build your son so that tomorrow your son can be able to build his children too. Idea of relying on people and wanting people to do things for you, no. So that is where the problem lies, right? We expect that it is my boyfriend's responsibility to come and break the poverty in my house. It is not his responsibility. It is you, the woman, your responsibility to work with the man that you are with so you can break the poverty in your house.
Now, there's also a story, or there's so many stories of equally deadbeat men also sponging off women. Actually, there was this woman who lived in England. I use England a lot because, I spent half of my life in England. So I saw a lot in our African community, being living amongst that community and the sorts of stories that I used to hear. So this woman is made. She has her own everything. She's set up. I'll tell you 2 stories actually. She's all set up. She's made. She has everything she needs and all of that. And she was just waiting to get married. She goes to a Pentecostal church and You know how you meet somebody and there's this young man in the church and everybody say, oh, you know, he's such a good, kind man. He's so God fearing and this, that, and the other and all of that. And so, you know, people encourage the two of them to start talking and all of that. And the pastor didn't want to know disgrace or embarrassment. So when he sees that, you know, a man and woman are starting to get close and they're always together talking and all of that, the next thing is, are you guys serious? And do you guys want to get married? If you do, come sit down. Let's have all the counseling and whatever. And you guys get married. This woman was young. She had set herself, her parents, as you were saying, had helped her set herself up. She bought a house. She was working for one of the bars of London. So she was comfortable with her salary. She meets this man. They get married. They have 3 boys. And she said after she had the 3rd child, she noticed that the man's attitude started to change. And I need to put this important point in that the young man he wasn't documented correctly, immigration wise, in England. So it was to his advantage that the marriage happened because she was born and part bred in England, so she was made. Okay, so they got married. And through the woman, he is also now documented, as it were. And they had 3 boys. According to the woman, when the last of the 3 children came along, the man's attitude changed. He started not coming home early. You know, he didn't want to help around the house, left the responsibility of the 3 kids solely to the wife. So she had to wake up, get the kids ready, drop them off at school. If you've ever lived in London, there's hardly any parking anywhere. So she has to then bring her car back home, park it at home, and then jump on the public transport to get to work. He had done all of this. And on the fateful day, the man had left home early, claiming that a friend of his was going to Ghana and he wanted to go and give his mom's medication to the friend to take back home to his mom. This woman gets on the bus 3.5 hours later, and the man is standing by this huge train station, Liverpool. For those of us who know London well, Liverpool Street. So the bus was going past it, and she spotted her husband in the crowd. So she jumped off the bus, like at this crazy time when people are supposed to be at work. What is the husband doing here? So she got off the bus to go ask him what he was doing there, because there was a woman next to him. And she had suitcases. You could tell she had just come from Ghana. As soon as she approached them and asked, who is this woman and why are you here? The other woman with the suitcases also asked the man, who is this woman? And then the woman from Africa said, oh, is this your London wife? Well, I'm here to tell you that I am also his Ghanaian wife, and we have 4 children back home. I am here now, and very soon our 4 children are coming too. And this young lady couldn't believe what she was hearing. She fainted. She got taken to hospital. Long story short, the man left this young woman with the 3 boys that they had in England and moved in with the Ghana wife, and they brought their 4 children. That's story number 1. Story number 2. A woman has worked all her life, saved up so much money, and meets this guy. She's a single mom with 3 children. She was living in her house with her kids, both boys and girls, and she was working hard. Her children were old enough to look after themselves, teenagers, so she was working round the clock. Then she meets this man who at the time, you know, it was like his work wasn't really regular. He got a shift there, shift there. He didn't have a lot of money, but the woman said, oh, I love you so much. You know, it doesn't matter. Come live with us. You can help me look out for the children, and I would work hard and be there until your regular shifts come up again, and you can also continue working. On the face of it, it seems like the perfect idea, except this man took advantage of the situation. He decided, this woman has a lot of money. She's sitting in a Nissan Qashqai. Look at her house. She has everything. Why am I even going to struggle? If I live with this woman, as long as I'm giving it to her good in bed, everything will be fine. So he stopped working, always giving one excuse or the other. But the woman loved him. So she didn't have a problem with it, right? And then ultimately, she said, well, if you're going to be sitting here doing nothing, I've been able to make this amount of money, 50,000 pounds. Here, please take it to Ghana. I bought this land and go and supervise the building of the house for me. It's something I've been wanting to do, but I never have the money to do it. So can you please do this for me? The man goes to Ghana. The wife loves and trusts him so much that she's taking her eye off the ball. She's not even caring about what is going on because the man is giving her progress reports. By the time the woman said Jack Robinson, the man had changed the title deed of the property that her money had built into his and his Ghana girlfriend's name. And this woman was weeping and gnashing her teeth. So, these things go both ways. It goes both ways. And I just want you to comment on some of the things that some of your brothers are also doing to their sisters too.
They say I'll give you one thing. Just one. They say you really want to know a man? Give him money. Have you heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
You really want to know who a man is? Wait until he gets money. Wait until a man gets money. So when you are in these two scenarios in which you gave, I can gladly tell you that the men, they never loved the woman. That's it. I can gladly tell you that the men, the women were only meal tickets for them to come outside. It is why all that story unfolded like that. Now, they no be the only people who bring somebody come. People to bring people come where the marriage work 30, 40 years, they still there. Now, why initially are they talk say, me, I notice say your parents have been married for over 40 years. Ask yourself that, waiting make my parents them are married it work. It no be money. It be love. They say they don't get problem. Where marriage way problem no dey inside. But when you love somebody, instead of you go look outside for another woman, you go solve the problem for your house. It be love. But when somebody know they love you, the sight of you alone self, they annoy the person. A lot of people won't come outside because the mindset in Africa be say outside it be easy. When you come, everything go for top. Who tell you? Who tell you? It takes years, hard work, dedication, togetherness for you to achieve. You can't do it on your own. So you need that man or that woman where you go bring and come to be able to cross the river. And I've been telling you this thing, say, any man where they stay with one woman or any woman where they stay with one man, where they work together, always watch them. They are always successful. Keep a good eye and watch. One man, one wife who work together and understand each other, success knocks on their door earlier. Then one way you get money, then tomorrow they play with small girl for Enugu. Tomorrow they play with this one for here. My brother, yeah, you go get the money, but the money all go again. I have never seen couples living in especially Canada here. African couples who work together don't have 3-4 houses here in Canada. They do. And you are aware of it. You even told me a story about a guy and a woman who bought 7 houses in Calgary, right? Good. How were they able to buy 7 houses in Calgary? 7 houses. And couples who are living together cannot even afford to buy one. But other couples have been able to buy 7. How did they do it? Love, understanding, working together. One person not thinking say he be smarter than the other. The moment you fall into this category, watch how quick success knocks on your door. I am not saying don't send your money, give your papa. Send your money, give. But be transparent with the man where you don't date house with them. Or the woman, oh, honey, I they go send 300, give my people. Oh, you know what? Take extra 100, join them, make them 400, take send them. Yes. I know we say when you get money, then you pass by, then you go send 2,000, go give your people, say, maybe they build house for you for Nigeria. Your marriage, you know, go work. Your marriage, you know, go work. So for me, I believe in transparency, working together. And the most important thing is stop thinking you are smarter than your spouse or your husband. Stop that. Stop that. Take that thing out of your head. Because once you take that out of your head, you and your husband or you couples can make it faster and go ahead faster, right? So, you know, it's vice versa, right? It's vice versa. You know, and then the main and the most important thing be love. Be love. Be love. Me, I always preach love. Because when there's love, everything changes. Everything changes. A good example.
But in both of these two cases, look at what the men ended up doing to the women. The women loved the men.
But the men never loved the women. That's all it is. How come your dad is been with your mom for almost 45, 46 years and they are still together? How? They are still together up to today. Why? Because like I said, they love each other. You have a wife and 4 children in England, in Ghana, and then you come and make another 3 with another woman. You are, excuse my language, but you are an idiot of a man. You understand? You are an idiot of a man because what you are doing is you are having children where you can be around for them. So how are these children going to grow to be? Exactly. He's only thinking about what is going to work for him for now, but he's not thinking about the future and the life of his children. Well, how are your children going to look at you? What is the story? How is your mother going to explain a story like this to his children? That, oh, your dad left me because he had. So those children would despise you, their dad, immediately. You're only setting confusion for yourself. That's all it is.
This thing called marriage.
It's a difficult institution. It is one of the most. It is what makes you and breaks you. Marriage. Marriage is what will make you or is what will break you. So, you know, sometimes you can say you got to be careful with who, but there are some people who are also mastermind and can lie to you for years and play the game. So there was I saw one of your viewers talked about prayer. That's a very important thing too. Like you always ask me, did you ask before you went into this?
Yeah. I like a point that our sister raised. This our sister Emilia says, so men should allow their wives to work. She also has parents as well as kids and her matrimonial home to take care of. So they can be independent because she has responsibilities as well. I agree.
100%.
Both people in the relationship have families to look after. I have aging parents. Whoever that chooses to end up with me ought to understand that I have commitments and responsibilities to my family too. Nonetheless, the conversations that a lot of us don't like having is that we are getting into an era or time of our lives, my sister, where our parents also, quite apart from raising their children, also need to know that there's going to come a time for retirement, and they need to put contingencies in place to ensure that when they retire, they are able to be self-sufficient and look after their children. That's not to say that when your parents have raised you and made you who you are, later on in life, when they also need that support and that help, that you're not there to provide it. But the truth of the matter is that look at the world that we live in today. Somebody coming out of university at 23, 24, 25, depending on what program they did. If you've done medicine, the least amount of money that you would owe in student loans after doing medicine, even from a not so popular university, you're talking about $250,000.
Thank you, my sister.
When
Thank you
is
very
your
much.
child going to find a job that it pays enough to pay off that $250,000 loan that they took off?
And this is just a grade B university she went to do medicine. So if you go to a grade A, you are talking about $500,000 of student loan.
Yeah. So when is the child going to make this money enough to pay this loan off? They have to buy a house. They have to get married. They have to have children. They have to be responsible for the children. So, we're getting to this era where, yes, if you choose to have children, your responsibility, because nobody asked you to have them. The children never asked to be born. So you need to look after them. But equally, you also have to think about the next 20, 30 years. When you're in your 40s, you must know 60 is just around the corner. Because a lot of our parents of old, what I saw growing up partly in Africa, is that a lot of the parents were spending monies on nephews and all kinds of other people. I'm not saying if you have it, don't do it. But you can only give what you have. A lot of people have bitten their noses to spite their faces. They didn't have no investments. They didn't have no retirement funds, nothing. And so they've now retired, and their children have now become their milk tickets. Remember when I had to sell my cloth to get you to school? Now I don't even have money for porridge. Yeah, your children want to help you, the parents, but a lot of the times they are not even standing on their own 2 feet.
Thank you.
To be able to support you in that manner. So, sometimes we also need to think about the wider issues that are around this. But my sister, I do agree with you. The fact that you're married, you see, marriage is not a bondage. That's something that a lot of my brothers and sisters need to understand. Marriage is not a bondage. It's not like you're in some kind of a prison. But a lot of us are getting into marriages without even understanding what it is that we are doing. A lot of people are getting married because Kwame No Face says, it's that time. You are growing. You are 25. My biological clock is ticking. So I have to get married. Honey, marriage is something else. You have to be ready psychologically, physically, emotionally, financially, like every word, and be prayerful. Ask for discernment to actually know this person that you're with, because people are putting on all kinds of masks and pretending to be people that they're not in marriages. And today we're seeing a lot of transactional relationships. The relationship was never founded on the basis of I love you, you love me, and we're going to be in a marriage or relationship to complement each other. Everybody is thinking about, oh, what can I get from Kwame? Oh, what can I get from Issy? Oh, what is the whole marriage about? Okay, this man, he has money. The father has 10 houses and 10 cars. So he's one day going to inherit the 10 cars and the 10 houses. And so if I have a child with him, my child will never lack anything.
So what if that guy never reaps those 10 houses and somebody else will reap?
Well, but that's why a lot of people get married to a lot of people.
This is the advice I'll give to all women. I am a man. A man will never remember, will never forget you if you were there from him from the scratch.
Oh, some
Unless
do.
the
Some do.
unless the man is a wicked man.
Some do.
But most men appreciate women who are there with them from the scratch.
I disagree. I disagree. Did what's his name? That man who was a banker who went frolicking with this young girl and he got caught, your friend. Did he think about that time? That time, you and I both know army officers whose wives were stood with them when they were nothing, when they had one trouser. My brother, when they had one pair of trousers and two shoes, the women were there.
Yes, I
Looking back.
agree with you.
Yes. So what are you
And
saying?
and practically to have seen men, not one, not two, not three, lots of men who come and say, if it wasn't for my wife today, I wouldn't be where I am.
Hmm.
I have seen men who are appreciative of their wives.
They're in the minority. They're in the minority.
But
They are
what
not
I'm
the
saying is there are still men who are good out there.
mm,
There are still good men.
mm.
A lot of women nowadays are saying, oh, there are no good women. It is difficult to find a good woman. I'm telling you, there are still good women. It depends on where you are finding them.
Mm.
You know, sometimes we feel like, oh, maybe if I go to a church, I'll find a good woman there. One thing I've realized is it's not every patient that responds to treatment at the hospital.
That's a good analogy.
I'm telling you. So it's not everybody who is in the church is responding to treatment there. So you got, you see, you that is why it is good to little bit of a relationship with somebody before you marry them. I hear women say, oh, if a man loves you within 6 months, he should marry you. 6 months is too short of a period. I'm sorry. If there is any hidden agenda, the person can hide it in 6 months. Give it a prolonged time, a year and a half, too. By then, you would have known what triggers this man to make him mad. What makes him happy? Oh, he likes this kind of food. Oh, my wife likes perfume. She likes, but a 6 month period is difficult for you to learn all these things. Yeah. Women say, oh, I'm growing old. Yeah, but take your time too, because marriage is a lifelong investment. You don't want to go in and get divorced and get out, because it's hard on both parties, right? So take your time, study whoever you are with. Yeah, nobody is perfect, but one thing I've realized is that you can mold something to your tune if the person loves you. Likewise, a woman can mold a man to hit her tune, right? If the guy loves you, maybe he does certain things, but then you give him ultimatum. Look, baby, I love you. This thing, I don't think you should continue doing this thing, and be patient with the person. If they love you, I'm telling you, they will stop. If they truly love you, yeah, I know that is difficult for you to believe. Yes, I know that, but it is. It is.
It's not my job to come and fix anybody. If the person really seriously wants to be in a relationship, he or she needs to. You just said it yourself. It's almost like you're contradicting yourself, because the women need to make sure that they are not a burden on the men. The men need to also make sure they are not a burden on the women. If you're not ready to be in a committed relationship, then you're simply just not ready. Sometimes, we complain about the circumstances that we find ourselves in, but the truth of the matter is that we overlook a lot of red flags that were staring us in the face like this because we were blinded by so-called love. I have met a lot of women that have said, oh, I knew that my husband was an alcoholic, or I knew that my husband smokes, or I know that my husband is a womanizer, or my boyfriend is or was a womanizer, but I still decided that I would take a chance on him because I thought that I could change him. His own mama and papa could not change him. You think that you have the right. The person who gave birth to him, where the umbilical cord was cut, that person could not change the son. You want to change that person. Honey, that's a long-term project. And sometimes when you pick up projects, fix them up, change them, make them whatever, as soon as they are well, as you said, the ones that take the prescription and get better or respond to treatment, they now think, you cry, you are not really my type of person. I didn't really love you in the first place.
10 years, 15 years ago, the person was your type of person. But now that you have gotten to where you reach, the person is not your type of person. Then, that's what I'm saying, that then there wasn't love to begin with, Chika. There wasn't love to begin with.
Our sister Bola says, why are men leaving their wives after many years of marriage? He says he should find a good woman and who is making him happy. So he leaves his children to go to the other woman. That second story, or the first story that I told you about the man who had 3 children in England, not knowing that he was already married in Ghana with 4 children. Yeah. Why should the man have left that one in Ghana? He had a wife already. Why did he leave? Why? No face. I'm expecting a response,
I know. Well, that's, to me, that's a deadbeat man. One. Plain and 100% simple. That's a deadbeat man. A wise man, an intelligent man who knows life and knows how expensive education is, knows how expensive life is. I'm telling you, wouldn't be going around having children. You remember I had this conversation with you that why is it that when I was growing up, I always used to hear Bill Gates only had 1 child? You remember I've had this conversation with you before, where I'm like, this is one of the richest men in the world. He could have so many children that he wants. Why did he have only 1 child? When me and you live in Canada here, where you see an engineer who makes 300 grand a year, the wives make 300 grand a year. I mean, they are making decent money, but they only have 1 or 2 children and they don't go around making more children. Why? Because those couples want a better life for their children. They are investing money in their children's education. So they've come to an agreement that, honey, we can have 2 children and give them the best of education. Now, back to that man. You have 4 children in Ghana. You have 3 with another woman. Have you thought about the educational future of your children? Have you thought about that what I'm doing can cause one family to be messed up for the rest of my life? Has he thought about that? No, he hasn't. Then 10, 15 years down the line, the same man is going back to his other children on the other side and telling them how sorry he was and they should forgive him because he made a mistake. You got to think. You have to think as a man. I'm sorry, but it is the truth. Okay, I live in Canada. If today my daughter wants to go and study human resource at the university, it's $15,000 a year. That is just the fees. Hostel hasn't come in. So I'm looking at paying 20 grand for my daughter just for a year. That's $80,000 a year for 4 years. Can I have 8 children and afford 80 grand a year? I can't. Thank you. So don't all men have brains? It's how you use yours is what matters. It's very important. That's what I just $1,000. That is, my daughter is what? It's 13 now, going to 14. I'm sure by the time she's ready to go back to university or she's going to university, that 20 grand might be 25 grand. So by the time my daughter is done, that's $100,000 for 4 years of education. Can I afford it? Okay, maybe I can afford for that. Can I afford for a second child or a third child? I can't. So why go and have them? Abrabo, like life is how you make it. Oh, believe me, it's how you make it. Self-control, planning your life, all those things. It plays a major role in your life. You understand? So you must think as a man, or especially if you have a smart woman who is also thinking like you. It makes life easy. You guys plan. You can plan to have 2 children. People have done it, and they are still doing it. Why should you go have 4 children with a woman, leave her, go and have 3 other children with another woman? Who is going to be paying all the fees for the children? Who is going to be taking care of all those 8 children that you have? Because it's a lot of money. So eventually what is going to happen is he will cut one family off so he can take care of the other. That's what he's going to do. So you know what? I'm sorry, but I think it is time men will pick up, because a man, as we've been created, is the man of the house. Your wife is just a supporter. She's there to help you to get things going on, but you are the man of the house. So you should tell your wife that, I think, honey, we should make 2 children, because with the kind of salary we get right now, we can afford to give 2 kids a good education and this and that and that. Yes, and you stick to that. But the fact that your friend has had 4 children, so you also want to go and have 4, and it becomes a competition, then you're not being smart.
Thank you very much for that. There are lots of comments here that I want us to respond to. My sister, Therese, says, sis, what's your take on this? When a woman struggles with a man and the money comes, then the man decides to build a house for his family, and the woman also decides to build a house for herself, and then it becomes a problem. You see, my sister, the issue is this, is that when 2 people are going to get into a relationship, there has to be conversations that are had prior to getting into the marriage. I think that a lot of the times we miss out on the things that are important. This is a marriage. This is not some boyfriend, girlfriend, we are playing thing. This is a marriage. And a lot of the times, the conversations are not had, right? The important conversations are not had. A lot of us women get into relationships, and the only thing we're thinking about is what happens in the bed. What happens in the bed is 5% of everything else that also has to be in place first before that 5% happens.
It's only 3%. 5% right? Is even too much.
Right? So you know, those things, if those things are not allowed to happen, if those things are not in place first, before everything else comes into the picture, then you have issues with your marriage. You're with a man, you want to be with him, but have you first decided, have you discussed how your whole relationship, how it's going to be founded? If the relationship is made of everybody can do what they like, these are some of the things that you see. Have you agreed on how your finances are going to be like in your marriage? Who is going to be responsible for what? The Bible says, how can 2 people work together unless they are in unison or in agreement? If there's no agreement, where are you guys going? And this is what creates all the issues. You see, the other thing too is that there's so much culture around we Africans and the way things happen. The culture. I love African culture. I'm African. I love it so much. But there's certain things in our culture that I think are outmoded, and things have just simply got to change. This one says they are matrilineal. This one says they are patrilineal. And then it's just one huge, big mess. When you have children, you're responsible for looking after those children. And I'm telling you that these days, there are a lot of transactional relationships. That's what we are seeing. People are not marrying because it's for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer. A lot of people are just getting married because of what they think they can seek to gain from the marriage. They're looking at this man or woman and thinking, Kwame No Face is seeing this girl, and the father is a minister, the father is a commissioner, this one is that. And so, oh, if I marry this girl, I'm marrying into the name and the fame. I can get all the contracts that I want to get, not because they love the women, and vice versa. Women are getting married to men because, oh, this person's father has 50 houses. So if I have a child for him, my child will never lack. We're not getting into the marriage because we two of us are going to work together and make a life for ourselves. But what I see that is really painful is when a man or woman, because these days it's both parties that are doing it to each other. One person in the marriage thinks, it be me alone get sense, so I'm going to use my head to beat the other person. It's why we're seeing some of these tragedies that have been happening in recent times. If you don't love somebody, don't take money from them. Don't take anything from them if you know that it wasn't founded on love. Because, you know, there's this song that they sing in Ghana which says that money is blood, and it's no lie. Honey, it's not funny to work in minus 40-degree weathers to make money and to support yourself. So when you find out that somebody is taking advantage of you for all the hard work that you do, it hurts, right? Bola says men don't think with their heads, they think with the stick in between their legs.
It's not all men. It's not all men. I understand what that sister is saying, but I'm telling the sister that there are some men who don't think with their stick because their stick has already caused them enough problems. Now they are thinking with their brain. I'm telling you. Yeah. But when you are a man and you're always thinking with your stick, you will never progress in life. The stick will bring you back. It is the stick that has made that man have 4 and have another 3. That's 7. The same stick. The stick can be controlled. Just like always I tell my friends, if women can stay and control themselves for as many years as they want, I think men can do the same too. Yes. Men are built in a way that sometimes we say women are stronger. I'm telling you, a man who is stronger is 100 times stronger than a woman. A man who is mentally strong is 100 times stronger than a woman. But you see, the problem is men don't want to be. We don't want to be strong. We want always the easy way out. That's what I asked you that. Let's say I've seen so many cases, which when I was growing up, I paid attention to, where fathers die from their wives, and their wives, some go back to marry. Majority of them don't marry anymore till they die. Now, how many men do you know when their wives is passed away and stay and say they're not going to live with another woman again? It's rare. It is rare. But there are some men like that, and those men are mentally strong. That's what I'm saying. Right? So, you know, it's just be plain and honest in whatever relationship you are. And this time, my take on this thing is, when you find something which is not working for you, I don't care whether you are 65 years old, just leave. Because that is the problem with women. Oh, I'm getting too old, so hey, maybe another man might not like me. I am telling all women on this platform, when you fix your life, you can be 61, 62, and you get a man who will always be around. Fix your life. Fix your life.
I see.
Dress well, look good, smell good, drive a nice car. I'm telling you, at 63, 64, you have men line up begging to be with you.
Yes, the deadbeat ones who don't
No.
want to fix their own life.
Well, but at the stage where you have reached, why are you the woman going for a deadbeat? Why do you want a deadbeat? That's the question. Why? Why are you settling for a deadbeat? You have fixed your life. You've bought your like. Let's say my woman right now, that high court judge in Ghana, Tokenu. Let's say Tokenu is 62 years old. Now she's a Supreme Court judge in Ghana. If let's say Tokenu had no husband, no kids, no nothing, why should Tokenu settle for a deadbeat guy when she's the Chief Justice of Ghana? Everything is a choice. Take good care of yourself.
Have you ever heard of sheep, wolf in sheep clothing? Have you ever heard that before?
I have heard it many times. I used to be a wolf in sheep clothing when I was a kid.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Okay, tell me more.
But I'm telling you that there are some women who are really smart and can smell a wolf in a sheep clothing. You have to steady whoever you are with. It is a very, very it doesn't matter whether the stick is the sweetest stick in the world. Still keep your eye on the ground. You will learn a lot with whoever you are with. And then when the time comes, you make a decision whether you want to marry this man or you don't want to marry this man.
I see.
You understand? Yeah, you live with a man. Let's say you marry a man. He's beating you. He's maltreating you. He's kicking you. Why do you want to still stay in that relationship? If women can answer that for me. This guy is beating you. He's pulling your hair. He's kicking you. You don't mean anything to him. The only reason why a woman will stay in a bloodthirsty relationship like that is if she hasn't fixed her life.
That's not always true. That's not always true. I've
so
seen
you
women who are professionals. They have everything. They still stay in those kinds of relationships.
Then you know what? Then this is what I'll say. Women like that have low self-esteem. I'm sorry. It is a low self-esteem woman. You can so you, Akushika, who is my good friend, would you allow a man to be beating you physically in Calgary because you love the man? Oh, you are smiling. Very nice.
You already know the answer to that.
Thank you. So why would another woman sit down to go through this? You must have low self-esteem. You can't be a professional woman where you are making money, helping your spouse in the house, cooking for him, and then he's beating you on top. It's as if it's about the story about that Nigerian gospel singer.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, who allowed the husband to beat her. Eventually, the man, he killed the woman. And when she goes to church to complain about it, the church say, oh, as for us, we don't believe in divorce, but you are being beaten every day. Do you have to go to a church to make certain decisions in your life? An abusive relationship where you are being beaten physically. Yeah, I understand. In relationship or marriage, sometimes we have arguments, we say hurtful things to each other. It's okay. But physically beating somebody, no. So that professional woman who has gone to school and is making 120 grand, 150,000, and is sitting down for a man to beat her, I'm telling you, that woman has no self-esteem. That woman has low self-esteem. It's why. Because a confident woman like you, Akushika Antonio, this thing are they talking, no go happen to you now. You go green make.
Pastor Patience, you're welcome. Welcome. I'm so excited to see you here. Pastor Patience says it's not just beating. The worst one is emotional abuse. Kwame No Face, there are some men who have no regard for women. When I used to live in London, I heard men, married men.
No, I'm coming home. No regard. No
fighting,
regard. Bible.
fighting with their wives and saying things like, oh, you dirty woman, yada yada. The things that are in between your legs are so smelly. You are this, you are that. This is a woman that you married with money. You got married to her with money, right? You married her. This is somebody that you've lived with for 20, 25 years. Oh, I saw so much in England. I can't begin to put it into words. These things happen. And there are men like that. So, as Pastor Patience is saying, it's not just about the physical abuse, it is also the emotional abuse. And it's even worse because at least if he's hitting you, maybe you get some sore and with time it will heal and maybe you forget about it. But when it's emotional and it's inside, deep inside of you, oh boy. I want you to comment. Where are you? Unmute yourself.
Look, no emotional torture, all those things, it's not good in a relationship. I'm not, like as you said, oh, a man can tell in the woman that he has been sleeping for over 20 years, say, oh, and now your thing they smell. Then when night catch, they you want make they open the same thing again for you.
Hmm.
You see, until you understand that this life we they live is a short life. It's life is not that long ago. It's short. You understand?
Yeah.
Life is short. So why make it so complicated? Why you won't make your life so wahala till you go take die? Why? You know me. Yves's mom has been, my kid's mom gone, but I'm still here raising my kid by myself. I haven't gone to find somebody to say, oh, you have to help me to raise my child. No, I am doing it by myself. Do you know why? Like I told you, women are always stronger than we men when it comes to things like this. So for the first time in my life, me too, I won't be man and be strong and raise my picking on my own. I don't need no foreign person can raise my picking for me. I will raise them on my own. It be the mindset too, Shika. It be the mindset. So if a man they tell woman this thing, then it means that the man himself, he doesn't respect himself. Because if you get sense where you know, say, it be your mama born you, your mama, it be woman. You get sisters where cook for you the time you they grow, they be women. Then tomorrow you go meet woman, then they treat the woman like it be dog. You forget your mama and you forget your sisters. But when your sister go another man in there, where did they maltreat and you won't go stand the man house, say you they go fight the man. But you they do the same for your home. My sister, with the moment you remember saying a woman born you, and it be women cook for you as a young man where you take grow, maybe you go get sense to respect your woman. That's it. Your mama he go die, oh. Your sisters they go marry, they go. They no go day there, they cook for you. That woman where you get for your house, now ain't go cook for you till you go make old man. It's all common sense and wisdom. The men who understand what I'm saying, they don't have very peaceful marriage. The ones we know they understand the matter and they talk, it be them go continue, they complicate them lives till the end.
Kwame No Face, there's something that I need to say here. I'm gonna say it and then I'll let you come back. Now,
okay.
What I wanted to say is that there's so many men on the surface of this planet, right, who are not your box standard average kind of men that you were talking about. right? The fact that you wouldn't do something does not mean that all the other men in the world are going to be modeled or do the same things that you do. There are a lot of men who just simply don't want to come into a conversation with their spouses or their partners or girlfriends or whatever and tackle an issue head on and deal with it. There's so many men like that. There's so many people whose response to a situation that is affecting the marriage or the home is silence. It is the worst thing. It's something that I absolutely hate so much. Is silence. I'm talking to my husband. I'm talking to my partner. I'm talking to my boyfriend about a situation that is bothering me, something that is not making me happy in the relationship. And there's two of us in the marriage or relationship. I want us to address the issue. He's chosen to give me the cold shoulder, ignore what I'm saying. It's almost as if they put corkscrews in their ears. They're not hearing what you're saying. And they think that being that kind of subjection of, it's not even emotional abuse. It's just that they've distanced themselves from the situation and not allowing any dialogue to happen. How do you deal with that kind of a person? Because I've seen friends of mine who are married to people like that from back in Ghana, right? Back in Ghana, so many of my colleagues, my friends that I went to school with, people that I knew, grew up with. We grew up on the university campuses. I saw so much. As soon as there's an issue, the wife wants, oh, you talk too much. He takes his key, he jumps in his car, he's gone. When you live with somebody like this, where are you going? He's not beating you physically. He may not be shouting at you or giving you no scars or anything that anybody can hear, or the screaming that other people can hear. But that person has just decided, I'm not even going to engage in a conversation that can be had. Both people air their views and we find common ground to solve the problem. How do you live with a person like this? I want you to answer the question.
Very simple. It is so simple. You are talking to a man, when there's a problem, he's not responding, blah, 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 right? Okay. So in the afternoon, you pick stones, you put it in a plate for him and you cover the food. And when he comes back from work and he opens the food, it's stones in it. Why did you put stones in my food? No response. Sometimes you have to give what people give you back. That's it. Finish. That will solve the problem. When there's a problem, you can take your keys and jump in your car and drive off. Okay. So when you come back in the evening, there's no dinner. There's stones that is in the plate for you to eat. Oh, honey, why are you giving me stones? I'm sorry, I'm mute. But they just cut off my tongue. I can't talk. You do your husband the same for 3 days. He will come back and beg you. Then now the two, but the problem with women is when he goes, then the woman also jumping in her car. Then she's chasing the guy down the street. Oh, my husband is going to another woman's house. Let him go. When you give a man cold shoulders, it is more painful than a man giving a woman cold shoulder. Ask the men, they'll tell you. So you are living with a man like this, and when there's a problem, he sits in his car, takes his car keys, he goes. Oh, honey, it's 6 o'clock. Where's my dinner? No conversation. Quiet. You are sitting in your room. Oh, I'm talking to you. Don't say a word. I'm talking, because men, they will start screaming. I said, I'm talking to you. Where's my? Take your bag. You too, if you have a car, take your keys, sit in your car and drive off. 10 o'clock at night, the same man will call you and tell you that, baby, you know what, come home, whatever is the problem, let's talk. How can women do that? How many women can do that? If you guys can do that, come back on this platform again and tell me if it didn't work. Yeah, because he gives you cold shoulder, then some men, when you let them go, they are gone. Sister, it means that the man to begin with, he wasn't yours. Let him go. Let the man go. I'm telling you. If the man decides to go, let him go. I am telling you, whether it takes a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, wherever he's gone, that thing will tear off his eyes. He will come back again. But the problem is, when he comes back, are you prepared to take him after 5 years? Don't be cheap in your relationship. Don't show that without this man or this woman, it means my life is coming to an abrupt end. You are fucked when you do that.
Hey, language.
I'm sorry. Your matter don't change the moment you do that. Because the moment somebody knows, say, you no go fit breathe with them, you no go fit think with them, you no go fit do anything with them, I'm telling you, go use you.
Pastor Patience is agreeing. Yes, when they decide, let them go.
Let the man go. Why you they hold them back? If I they cook for you, I they clean for you, I they do everything for you, where you say I no good, then go where. Maybe somebody where you did there, you better pass me. But you go there, go find, say that place you they go to, bigger problems they pass the place you live, they go. Who no get problem? Chika, who? Common sense will tell you that every individual walking in this world has a problem. That is how God has created it. It's common sense. But then the problem most of us do is we only look at money. Sometimes people with money have the most problems. Everybody has a problem. So if the man says he's leaving you and he has found his dream wife, let him go. Just give it some time. The same man will start calling you again. And I made a mistake and I didn't know that you were a good woman. How many times haven't I heard this? I even heard it in my own house. So I know what I'm telling you. And I didn't know you were a good woman. Oh, I don't know why the devil, then so then they go back and start blaming the devil for it. Oh, and it's the devil who made me do it. It's the devil. No, the devil didn't make you do anything. You made your own choices. Stop blaming the devil for it. Exactly. If I live with you, Chika, you work hard. I know you. You are a beautiful woman. You are not a woman who goes around asking men for money. I know you too well. You respect yourself, that you will never ask a man for $1. Now you are living with a man and you are cooking for him and treating him nice. And then this man gets up and say, you know what? Even you, I'm gone. Who will lose? No, tell me who will lose? He's gone with his problem. Go. Wherever you think is good for you, go. In a few more years, you will realize that, you know what? I think I should have stayed where I was. It's all wisdom. Haven't you heard this saying? Haven't you heard this saying before? The grass on the other side is not always green. He wants to go. Let him go. Haven't you seen that everything which is new, like when you buy a new toy for your child, you don't see how happy they are? How long does it take before your child will push the toy away and be looking for another one?
One day.
Thank you. It happens in all relationships and everything. It's the same thing. Everything new. Tell me, when you meet a new guy or a new girl, hey, you don't even sleep. You stay on the phone with the woman for 6 o'clock in the evening till 4 a.m. in the morning. Not lie. And then after 3 months, do you still do the same thing? No, you don't. After, oh, baby, you know, I'm busy. I'll call you back. But this was the same guy that a month ago, when you call him, he will stop doing everything and call you. Now he's telling you, oh, I'm driving, so when I park, I'll call you. No, it's not. Thank you. He wants to go because he's found some young Fianga girl who is. Let him go.
Fianga girl.
Let him go.
Pastor Patience, I love you so much. She says, stop chasing unavailable men. Stop
Thank you,
giving them attention. You are destroying your dignity. Mwah.
Pastor Patience. I salute you for that. I'm a man. Salute for that.
Ah, I love her so much.
Exactly. When you see, this is what I'll tell my sisters.
Hmm.
Always be on top of your game.
Hmm.
Look good. I do not care how old you are. You can be 63, 65, 68. Please don't be putting a cloth on you. No.
Hmm.
Women, my sisters on this platform, first of all, always look good. I do not care what situation you are in. Look good, dress nice, smell good. The guy, he'll come back again. He'll come back again. But you see, the problem with we is that, oh, we give up in life. Maybe I'm too old. Nobody likes me again. Why should I be even dressing and wearing high heels? For what? I don't look good. When you step out of your house, let men look at you and be like, wow, that husband of yours is looking at you. You don't know. Hey, what is going on with my wife? These days, my wife is looking fly. Oh. Other men will start telling him that, hey, Oga, your wife, I mean, they look good, oh. Because he doesn't want to lose you, what will he do? He will come back again. That is the secret.
It will be my choice to take him back if I want to. But if he's
That is if you
unavailable,
want to.
why am I
But if,
taking him
if,
back?
if at that time you are also dating somebody else and you are into somebody else, why would you take him back? Because to begin with, why did you leave in the first place?
Mhm.
In the first place, why did you leave? It means I wasn't good enough for you, right? So he's gone.
Mhm.
Now you two, you're looking good. Now you have this guy who is all over you, blah, blah, blah. And because always remember that, I'm sorry to say this, but one man's meat is another man's poison.
Hmm.
What Kofi doesn't like, Enugu like. What
Hmm.
Enugu know they like, Joseph they like.
Hmm.
That's all he did.
Hmm.
And I advise my sisters that when you are talking to a man, let the man know that that coconut of yours is full of wisdom.
Hmm.
Oh, take me here and buy me this. And I want you to buy me Brazilian hair. I'm sorry, you won't go far with any man in your life.
Hmm.
But when you sit down with a man, because sometimes we men, excuse me to say, not all of us are that smart. So as a woman, you can even tell your husband or whoever you are dating that, hey, you know what? There's this business idea in my head, and I thought to share it over with you. This man will go home and lie on his bed and think and be like, hey, first time I date a woman, this woman is selling me a business proposal. It means this woman must be smart. Believe me, that man will come back again. Because what is happening is you are becoming intriguing to him, right? Yeah, I know what I'm saying. You don't believe me, Chika. Try it. I want all my sisters on this platform just to try it.
Now, I have another show in an hour and
I would-
45
I
minutes. We started the conversation about why African couples are taking each other's lives. As you wrap up, because we must be off here in the next 10 minutes, I just want you, as the man of the house this morning on this platform, to have a thing or two to say to your men, to understand that the fact that you're married to a woman or you go bring somebody speaking from somewhere else and bring them abroad does not mean you own them. They're not your possessions to be had. The fact that a man also brings a woman abroad does not mean that when the man has sacrificed everything that he has for you, that at the end of the day, when you're now made and you have everything, you wipe your hands on the person's face and leave. Pastor Patience says some African men will run away if you give them a business proposal on the first date. I love you,
And
Pastor.
those men are not smart. They're not smart because me, when you are a woman and I date you for the first time and your conversation is more about, let's uplift ourselves. Let's do this. I'll come back to you again. I will never go to a woman who will tell me about Brazilian hair. Take me here. Let's go here. Let's go and eat at this restaurant. You know what? The first day I'll do that with you, but I will never come back again. I will never come back again.
We have our sister Attractor here. Attractor says some even run to the Brazilian hair wanting ladies and leave the women who are giving them business ideas. Okay.
And can you, let's give it another 5 years. Let's see the one who is running to the Brazilian hair in 5 years. Let's see if he will still continue running there. Keep an eye on it. Everything I tell you, be patient and watch. Yeah, all men, yeah, they will run to the Brazilian hair because the Brazilian hair is fun for now. But when it is time for them to plant their feet into something bigger, they will leave the Brazilian hair and go for the one way they think. The Brazilian hair is good for now. Understand? Yeah, because it's easy. You go fit take and go out. If you do whatever you want to do with them, because the Brazilian hair woman, you don't get any dreams for life. Some men too are intimidated by women with higher dreams.
Oh.
You don't know that?
I see.
Oh, this one in life can better pass my own. So me and you not watch that guy in Germany who says it is foolish for a man to invest money in his wife? Thank you. Thank you. No intelligent man in this world who wants to move the next stage of his life to be successful or to start a business or to start something big will go and take a girl who likes Brazilian hair and all she does is just enjoy. No wise man does that. No wise man does that.
Okay, so now we need to wrap up. Pastor Patience says, women, stop accepting men who dumped you because you are smart back. It doesn't make any sense, does it? It doesn't. Okay.
Those are foolish men. I already told you there are some men who get intimidated. Like you tell your man that, oh, after my degree, I want to do my master's. Oh, what are you going to do master's for? What do you need master's for? A master's is not necessary. Why? Because he's intimidated by your master's. That's why. A man who knows where the wife wants to go will invest money for the wife to even go and do her master's. I'm telling you, some men get intimidated by higher educated women. They don't like it because their mindset is, oh, she's too educated. She's not going to respect me. But if you treat that woman well, she will respect you for the rest of her life. It doesn't matter what educational qualifications she has. So that new High Court judge or Supreme Court judge in Ghana, is she going to disrespect her husband? No, because the husband was part of her success story. Who is going to enjoy the money right now? The husband. Because he was there, saw what the wife had to go through, go to law school, do this, do that. Maybe the man some days had to take care of the children for the wife to go and study. So when it's all good today, who is going to enjoy it? The man. Don't get intimidated by high qualified women, because eventually it will work out for you. I'm not talking about a woman that will say, oh, as for me, you are not my class. No. There are women who are engineers and their husbands are bus drivers, and they still love and respect their husbands. It's all the mindset. It's all in the mind. I love dynamic women. You know, you already know that. Me, I love dynamic women. They even, when that there was a time ago, I told you that the University of Ghana, the vice chancellor, the chancellor, and the registry, they are all women. I told you this, and I told you that I love women like that. You can strike a good conversation with a woman like that. And usually when women get to that high level, unless they are demonic, but a real woman at that level is still with the man started 20-25 years ago. It's sometimes as a man, it's good to date dynamic women because it makes you like, oh, maybe you thought that where you are is good. But when you date a woman who is dynamic, she will tell you that, you know what, my love, maybe you can do a little bit better than where you are. Women help men too. It's up to you, men, though. It's up to you, men. It's up to you, men.
I gotta go. I'm tired. Okay. So
all right.
I need you to wrap this up here. Pastor Patience is making two very strong points, but I want you to wrap up. She says, I agree with you. Yes, some men are intimidated by higher educational women. And she also says education is not just about attaining higher education. It also means women of wisdom and intelligence.
Thank you. So my men on the platform, now and I own. Oh. Now and I own. The one you go carry Brazilian hair, where every day, take me go here. I want chop this. I no get airtime. I know, my brother, you dey waste your time. It being papa for buy am the airtime, no be you.
They should buy the airtime for themselves. It's not even their fathers.
Thank you.
You're old enough to have airtime, buy it for yourself. Period.
So this be the question they ask all my men and my brothers on the platform. Why you won't waste your energy on this? Where you they buy airtime? You they buy this. The place the food the girl go chop need for buy for him. Why? A word to a wise is enough.
Okay, so what do you have to tell the men? Because these days we're seeing a lot of men who are abruptly ending their own lives and the lives of their spouses because of some of the issues that we've talked about today. What do you have to say to your brothers that are doing this based on this Dallas incident that happened on the 30th of June, on Thursday or whatever, about this whole thing?
No man, and I repeat again, no man should take the life of. You can walk away if you think that the relationship is not good for you, right? That's it. There's no need to take the life of somebody else. It's not necessary. Just cut your losses sometimes, call a spade, and just move on. And let time and life unfold. You will see it yourself at the end of the tunnel. And two, men should learn to respect their women and be with them, because it's not easy to come across a good woman who is always being there for you, right? I mean, and it's vice versa too with women, right? You find a good man who loves you and is there for you. Charlie, learn to stick with that man. You know, it helps and it takes you a longer way in life, right?
And what about your brothers who are not just ending the lives of their spouses? They do that and then they end their own lives too. In this Dallas incident, the man first, attacked the spouse and took her life, and then he called the police, and just when the police were coming or when he heard that they had arrived at the property, he then took his own life too.
Is that not a coward? How do you tell a man like that? That's a coward. So you've taken the life of somebody Why didn't you stand so they take you to jail so you can do 20 to 30 years in jail? Why didn't you do that? It means the man, he's a coward. Any man who does that is a coward. Yeah, it's a relationship. You brought the woman here, blah, blah, blah. It didn't work. Okay, cut your losses for the sake of your children. Cut your losses and move on. But now you've taken the life of your spouse and your life. So what happens to your children? Sad.
Anyway.
No matter what, don't take anybody's life. That's it.
Thank you so much, Kwame No Face. We could be here all day digressing this issue, digesting it, breaking it up and all of that. But I got to go. I'm tired. Okay. And I have another one in a couple hours. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much, Pastor Patience. Thank you so much, Solomon. Thank you so much, Attractor. All of you here, thank you so much, every single one of you, for all your commentary. Therese, Amanda, Modesta, I love you all so much. Suzanne, God richly bless every single one of you. Thank you all. Sharon, I saw Claire also at the beginning of the show. Thank you all so much for your commentary. I love you all so much. Kwame No Face, God bless you. Have a lovely rest of your Monday. And God bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. I love you. Mwah. Bye.